Thomas Hearns in the white trunks on the left. Pablo Baez now moving to the left. In Hearns' last fight back in April, 13th round knockout of Randy Shields. Since the knockout of Pepino Cuevas last August, Hearns successfully defended his title twice. 6th round KO of Luis Pereira last December and the KO of Shields in April. Baez does match Hearns in height at 6'1", weighing at 144 3/4, and Hearns at 147.
Right now they're trying to exchange jabs. Obviously, Tommy Hearns much more experienced and a smoother and stronger jab.
Pablo Baez, in defending his credentials, says, well, he is the welterweight champion of the state of California, and he says he hasn't been able to get any quality fights because people don't want to fight him. At least that is the theory of Pablo Baez.
None of that will help him tonight. He's in with the welterweight champion of the world, and the good thing about boxing is once the bell rings, all of that goes out the window and you got to perform. Tommy Hearns, an incredible physical specimen from the waist up. His back is broad and well muscled, and that gives him the power of that jab, which is stinging and hard.
And similar to the thoughts of Sugar Ray Leonard, Hearns looking to win more than one title. Watch it, low blow. Baez warned. Like Thomas Hearns looking down the road, he wants to fight Marvin Hagler for the middleweight championship.
Vicious right hook to the rib cage made Pablo Baez wince and pull his elbow down. No question about it. Tommy Hearns throwing bombs right now.
Less than a minute remaining in round one. Hearns measuring Baez.
Hearns anxious to look good, looking down the road perhaps at Sugar Ray Leonard.
Good right hand, and Baez was blocked. Another right by Hearns. Combination by Hearns, and Baez in difficulty here. 30 seconds left, round one, and Hearns delivering on Pablo Baez. Again, Hearns measured Baez and pounded to the body, and again landing with hooks.
One thing for Baez, he's certainly taken some hard shots because Tommy Hearns is trying to end this in the first round, and he's come back with some pretty good shots.
All right, final seconds, round one. Credentials of Pablo Baez, and we talked about this with WBA Vice President Pablo. And this is round two. Thomas Hearns moving out of the corner to go against Pablo Baez. All Thomas Hearns in round one. Hearns with the height and reach of a heavyweight, continuing to land on Baez and snapping that left hand.
He snapped 3 jabs and literally buckled Baez's knees. His jab's a thing of beauty, very hard.
Now Hearns up on his toes, has excellent hand and foot speed, and really does not seem to be at all concerned with Baez.
I think that concern is ever in your mind that you want to get this guy out of there as fast as you can. The more he impresses, the bigger will be his role in the Sugar Ray Leonard fight upcoming in September, should it take place.
Baez continues to have to adjust his shorts.
And his lifestyle, if he stays in there with Tommy too much longer. Tommy inexorably has chosen to lay off of Baez this round and not do much of anything. I don't understand that since he had him just about ready to go. There was a terrific right hand, another.
And the follow with the combination, and Baez again in trouble. You get the idea, Hearns can do it whenever he wants against Pablo Baez.
He is indeed the hitman, and when he decides to punch, he really goes at it.
Continues to measure and then pound as we hit the halfway mark of round two. Right hand, straight right, followed up, and another right by Hearns.
He has him in trouble. He's rocky. Baez in trouble, but still standing there.
Got that other 50 ready.
He's looking for the knockout too hard. He's not letting it come, Marv. He's not letting it come. You'll hear from Emmanuel Stewart in the corner. He's looking for that one hand, and that's not the way he's going to get it.
All right, less than a minute left. Round 2, scheduled for 15 for the WBA welterweight championship. Originally, this was not going to be a championship match, and then Hearns said, okay, why not?
Well, this is against the rules of the Boxing Association for the simple reason that he hasn't been rated. Baez has not been rated for 90 days, which is in the rule book.
And you wonder how is Baez ranked 9th by the WBA in particular, but his last fight was a draw against really an opponent, Rudy Barrow, out in Stockton, California. Well,
it's called by divine intervention. Some higher powers up above blessed him with number 9. The right side of his face is puffing up. It's all red from that Hearns right hand that's been landing solidly on Baez for the first 2 rounds.
Final seconds, second round. On to round 3. Pablo Baez on the right, Thomas Hearns on the left. The late Joe Louis said that he's never seen a welterweight hit as hard as Thomas Hearns, and I think Pablo Baez would go right along with that.
I think most of boxing has already agreed that Tommy Hearns is a devastating puncher, and will be even maybe more so as a junior middleweight and middleweight when he gets a little bit more weight on him.
Hearns is a murderous puncher, but unlike some of the great ones, really goes to the body.
He got severely chastised in the corner by Emmanuel Stewart for being lazy that round and going to sleep. He wants him to go to work, and when Stewart speaks, Hearns reacts. You see him working away now.
Hearns appears to have Baez on the verge of going in both the first and second round. Thomas Hearns, 31-0, 29 knockouts. Called by some the most feared man in boxing. Pablo Baez out of the Dominican Republic, now living in Los Angeles. He says he's 14-8 with 2 draws. Available records have it at 9-8 with 2 draws. Even at 14-8-2, you wonder why the man would get a shot at Thomas Hearns.
You have to wonder.
Here he is.
It's scary how they do those things. Thomas Hearns just got butted. He wiped his forehead, looked at him with a deadly stare. He has thrown more jabs to the body since we said that he doesn't punch to the body. He must have thrown 12 straight ones to the body. I think he's listening to you, Marv.
And Baez has been able to land here in this third round.
It's a curious thing for a man who's taken a beating the first 2 rounds. He's the aggressor in this round. You notice that it's Hearns giving ground, and it's Baez the aggressor.
This is a $75,000 payday for Pablo Baez, a boxer who once had his manager give him a total of $3 for 2 fights. That's a true story.
Seems a fair price to me.
Again, Hearns measuring. And we approach the 10-second mark in round 3. That'll do it for the third round from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. This is round 4, scheduled for 15. Thomas Hearns defending his WBA welterweight title. Marv Albert and the fight doctor Ferdy Pacheco from Houston, Texas. And it's been all Hearns.
Fight. He's curiously lazy at the beginning of fights and is not pressing his opponent, Pablo Baez, who apparently gets in trouble anytime that Hearns wants to pressure him.
left eye of Pablo Baez. Caught a left hand from Hearns. Opening minute, round 4.
Again, Hearns satisfied to give ground grudgingly, a little at a time, jabbing as he goes, but not coming ahead. Hard right hand by Hearns. Another hard right hand that misses.
Halfway through round 4. Thomas Hearns began boxing at the age of 10. And under Emmanuel Stewart, he blossomed as an amateur, winning both the National AAU and the Golden Gloves championships. According to Ring Magazine, 31-0, 29 knockouts, and he's done. Baez goes right back for the combination. Baez in big trouble. Thomas Hearns looking to end it right here. Baez caught against the ropes. Uppercut by Hearns did not connect. 50 seconds left in the round, and Baez is going down.
It's all over. They got to get that stool in there real fast and let him sit down. He does not know where he's at. Pablo Baez is out on his feet. The referee stepped in there just in time.
Smart move by Kenneth Morita of Japan. Not wasting any time. And said that is it. And as expected, Thomas Hearns continuing the unbeaten record. He's now 32-0, 30 by knockout, stopping Pablo Baez in round 4 here at the Astrodome.